At this point, I knew that he raised really wide in position. I knew that he c-bet, like, at this point, it was 100%. So just knowing those two things, if I have any equity on the flop, it's plus EV to check raise, just with that information alone. So I have fold equity here with my check raise, and I have equity when called. Like, I have 2 overs to the 8x hands in his range, and I have backdoor equity, and just I can continue on a lot of turns. So there's no reason to really do that big here, that big of a size here, because I mean, I didn't even have the read at the time that he played so fit or fold to my bets in general. But even without that read, like on this board texture, I don't need to bet that big because he's going to respond. Like, it's not like he's going to flat wider if I bet 120 here than if I bet like 160. You know, like, he's going to, like, this kind of board texture, he can only continue with a very defined range. So I think you can bet nice and small and and reevaluate turns if he calls. So he does call, and the turn is a jack. So the jack I like a lot because it gives me obviously added equity, gives me an open-ended draw, and it's also a scare card to 8x. So I'm betting a size that basically allows 8x to call, and hopefully also allows King X to call and lets me try to realize my equity on the river. I'm obviously folding to a raise here, but the whole point is that, and I hope you guys noticed that this is what I was trying to do really, really hard throughout the whole game, was try to manipulate his range as much as I could with my bet sizes. So when I bet this size here, it's really tough for him to raise over it because it's kind of it's just a weird size by me, kind of like in terms of put yourself in his position and, you know, pick a hand. How are you going to raise over this? You know, it's if I bet like 240, it'd be really easy to raise over it. So I think making sure that you really bet accurate sizes according to what you're trying to accomplish with your bet, really, really important. Something I try to focus on a lot this game, and really every game I play. He flats, and the river is really bad because it's a total brick. It's not even a scare card to 8x. It's not, the jack is not in my range. So at this point on the river, I'm in trouble in terms of winning this hand, and I'm going to lose the hand basically because there's really nothing in his range at this point, now that he's called flop and turn, that I can bluff off. Because I don't think an 8 is folding, kind of like I said during the hand. So it's like a pretty standard give up on this river, but it's really important that we understand the reasons why we're giving up, and that we're giving up for the right reasons. So basically just perceiving his range, the way I perceive his range, I don't think I have any fold equity, no matter what I bet. I think that his range is just too strong for me to try to attack at this point, and I have to just let it go. And he ends up having pocket nines, and I don't know. I mean, if I overbet shoved here, would he call pocket nines? Probably. I think so. And again, like, that would just be crazy by me to do, because I don't have the info to do that at this point. And I'd be risking, you know, quite a decent amount. That play would have to work a lot of the time for me to do it and pull it off. So I'd have to really have some reads. Like, if I knew that, for example, like a read that I could have that would make that play profitable, that I do actually do versus some people, is like, if I know villain will never flat a king here on the flop when I check raise. He'll always 3-bet over my check raise with a king. Or maybe he'll flat the flop, but he'll never let the turn, he'll never just flat my bet on the turn. He'll always get really aggressive with it on the turn or whatever, because he can't stay that patient with it. He just gets caught up in the momentum of the hand and has to start playing, you know, his top value fast or whatever. If I had a read like that, I think an overbet shove here is great. Because without a king in his range, now you do have a lot more fold equity. You can fold out 8x with an overbet shove, because if there's no king in his range, then, you know, that changes everything. But that's not the case here, not at all. I don't even remotely have that info. So I have to give up. It's a good give up, and I really like the way I played the hand.